Hi, my name is James, and this is the closeout report for a Catalyst Fund 11 project that was a collaboration between Andamio and Blink Labs called Open Source Cardano Go Libraries and Docs and Andamio CLI. Let's jump in. As with any Catalyst project, you can review this one at projectcatalyst.io. either by going to this URL or by searching in the search bar right here. The problem we sought to solve is that it's hard for open source development projects to achieve a sustainable level of contribution and financial support, even though many devs rely on open source libraries. On the Andamio team, we recognized that we needed certain Go libraries in order to build what we wanted to build. So we thought that we could tackle this problem head on by collaborating with one of the leaders in open source development, Blink Labs, to support the development of the libraries we need, to build the software, Andamio CLI, that we imagined, and to make incremental progress on a problem that predates Web3, which is that open source development is tricky to fund. You can explore all milestones here on the Project Catalyst website. This is the milestones portal. We've delivered the first 1, 2, 3, 4, and the video I'm creating here is to serve as delivery for the final milestone. The deliverables for the project were as follows. We promised a public release of Andamio CLI, a record of improvements to existing libraries, documentation and onboarding resources for developers, data about the viability of our open source funding model, a series of blog posts and community meetings, and the project closeout report that you're viewing right now, accompanied, of course, by a documentation. What did we achieve? We released the first version of Andamio CLI. We created a really strong outline and first draft of the Cardano Go project-based learning course that I'll show you in just a minute. Blink Labs developed a set of starter kits. We evolved the ecosystem of Cardano Go tooling by using some libraries and really pushing others to their limits. And Andamio and Blink Labs have fostered a collaboration that will live far beyond this project. We learned that open source development is as important and as challenging as ever. We recognize that in the new Voltaire era of Cardano governance, and just at the global level, where everyone is competing for attention all the time, open source funding and open source development are maybe as challenging as they've ever been. And yet we have a lot of reasons to be optimistic that we can make progress on these challenges. We've learned that in order to prepare people to contribute is about a lot more than just technical skills. People need reasons to contribute. We need the right incentives, and people need to feel like they have a big picture view of what's being built, along with the appropriate detailed technical training. We've written about several of these topics in recent Andamio blog posts, and these are questions that we will continue to address in everything we do. Our next steps are to continue using the framework that we established at Cardano Go Live Coding and build out some of the details and deeper modules in the Go project-based learning course. We have a series of features that we're excited to add to Andamio CLI, and we continue to build a coalition of teams, including Blink Labs, Gimbal Labs, Andamio, Mesh, Sedan Labs, and more, who are committed to teaching people how and why to contribute to critical open source projects. In the rest of this video, I'd like to address each of these deliverables one at a time. Let's start with the public release of Andamio CLI. The Andamio CLI code is live and open sourced at this GitHub address, and you can find the documentation here. So what does Andamio CLI do? It's a command line suite of tools that allow developers to understand how the Andamio network works so that they can build new utilities upon it. Anybody running Andamio CLI can query the Andamio network, can build unsigned transactions, and can write and convert data into valid structures. We're also looking at ways to run Andamio infrastructure, but that's also beyond the scope of this closeout video. It's something I'm very excited to talk to you about, and hopefully we can do that soon. For now, let's just look at a couple of example commands. If I run Andamio CLI query, for example, you can see that I can query the course or course instances or the global state of the network. One specific command we can look at as an example is this one. On Andamio, every course is represented by a token with a policy ID. This allows us to place credential criteria on chain. And the example we're looking at here is on Cardano preprod. This course has one module credential available. And this comes directly from our Getting Started with Andamio course, where we want people to be able to access their dashboard, mint an access token, enroll in a course, and commit to an assignment. This module also has details about that assignment. Are there prerequisites? Who's allowed to complete it? Who decides that it's complete? And what is the content of the assignment? Now, in our front-end application, anybody with a browser wallet can already interact with transactions that allow them to earn credentials on Cardano preprod. But what if somebody wanted to build other tools? It would be really nice to have access to this data, and that's exactly why we're providing it. Now, in order to manipulate blockchain data, you have to build transactions. And that's why we've also provided Andamio CLI transaction. And you can see right here a list of different kinds of transactions that are already available, and we will continue to add to this list. When you run one of these commands, and for an example, let's look at this one, Andamio CLI transaction. This is the one that mints an access token. You don't have to build an entire Cardano transaction from scratch. In this case, you can say, I want to mint a token with this name to this preprod address. And when I run this command, the successful response is the CBOR string of an unsigned Cardano transaction. This means that this tool allows developers to take this transaction anywhere. You can sign it with Cardano CLI. You can test using it in an Eternal wallet, or you can try signing this transaction in an application front end with any number of front end libraries. Our goal is, by providing this kind of flexibility, to allow anyone to start exploring new ideas for what they can build on top of Andamio. Our second deliverable is a record of improvements to existing libraries. By building Andamio CLI, which I just demoed, we relied extensively on the expertise of the Blink Labs team, and this really helped us build up our collaboration. Along the way, Blink Labs continued to make improvements to their critical open source libraries. We needed those libraries in order to deliver Andamio CLI, and we will continue to use these tools as we continue to build in features to Andamio CLI. I encourage you to take a look at our roadmap and to go over to GitHub and look at the Git logs for Andamio CLI and for the Blink Labs repos. In addition to continuing to evolve these libraries, we wanted to teach more people to understand how to use them. That's why we're building a Cardano Go project-based learning course. That's why Blink Labs is publishing a series of starter kits about how to use all of the resources they are creating. That's why we've built documentation for Andamio CLI. And that's why for the last few months, we've been running live coding sessions collaboratively between the Andamio, Gimbal Labs, and Blink Labs teams. And you can see a playlist of all of these on YouTube. Our next step is to keep adding examples to the Cardano Go PBL course. You can find the initial draft of the course here on Andamio. Cardano Go project-based learning. You can review the course outline and look at the lessons we've created so far. We're really excited about this outline because of the way it builds up developer knowledge about Go and Cardano at the same time. We teach people how to interact with the Cardano node. We teach people how to build transactions, to react to on-chain events, to make queries, and then eventually to build applications involving validators and smart contracts. Just like we do at Gimbal Labs with the Plutus project-based learning course, we'll be rolling out these modules one at a time as we refine and document the examples and then add them to lessons right here on the platform. One of the ways that this project has not yet been successful is in its ability to prove the viability of our open source funding model. Our hypotheses are as strong as ever. If we teach people how open source tools work and why they exist, we think that the Web3 movement towards decentralized systems can have something really important to say about open source funding problems, but we haven't proven it yet. We do have stories to tell. We have anecdotes that this model works, but we need to see it working at scale before we shout it from the rooftops. For now, we have a series of blog posts, including this one, and I hope you'll check it out because it provides an outline of some of what we've learned and what we intend to do next. At a high level, our next steps are to continue research and development of open source funding models and ways that decentralized communities can make decisions about how to allocate scarce resources. We will continue to do this work at Andamio, at Gimbal Labs, in all of our collaborations, and we'll bring these insights to venues like Gimbal Labs Playground and Intersect. To support all of that, this project has produced an archive of blog posts and a series of recorded community meetings. I hope you'll check out the YouTube playlist. This is the messy URL that links to our Cardano Go live coding playlist, or you could just go to this easier one. Both of these links are provided in the Closeout report. And when you head over to YouTube, you'll see a list of all the meetings we've had for Cardano Go live coding over the last few months. The Andamio blog features a series of posts from throughout this project where I share some of what we've been learning along the way. And in the last 3 posts, a summary about Andamio CLI, about what we've learned in Go development, and about our continued work for how to incentivize distributed collaboration and contribution. The last deliverable is this video. So I know I've gone a little bit over time, but thank you for watching it, and make sure to check out the written report. If you've learned something, been inspired, or even if you have tough questions for the Andamio team, I hope you'll reach out. This is how we all grow together. So thanks to the whole Catalyst community, as always, for supporting our work. We're looking forward to everything that comes next. Take care.